wanna be a billionaire so fucking bad. Buy all of the things I never had. I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. Oh, every time I close my eyes, I see my name in shining lights. Yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
Yeah, I would have a show like Oprah. I would be the host of Everyday Christmas. Give Trappy the wish list. I'd probably pull a Angelina and Brad Pitt and adopt a bunch of babies that ain't never had shit. Give away a few Mercedes like, here, lady, have this. And last but not least, grant somebody their last wish. It's been a couple months that I've been single, so you can call me Travis Claus minus the ho-ho. Get it? I'll probably visit with Katrina hit. And damn sure do a lot more than FEMA did. Yeah, can't forget about me, stupid. Everywhere I go, I'ma have my own theme music.
Oh, every time I close my eyes,
What you see, bro?
I see my name in shining lights.
What else?
A different city every night. I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. When I'm a billionaire.
I'll be playing basketball with the president, dunking on his delegates. Then I compliment him on his political etiquette. Toss a couple million, the edge is for the heck of it. But keep the 5s, 20s, 10s, and bins completely separate. Yeah, I'll be in a whole new tax bracket. We in recession, but let me take a crack at it. I'll probably take whatever's left and just split it up. So everybody that I love can have a couple bucks. And not a single tummy around me would know what hungry was, eating good, sleeping soundly. I know we all have a similar dream. Go in your pocket, pull out your wallet, put it in the air and sing.
I wanna be a billionaire so fucking bad. Buy all of the things I never had.
Buy everything.
I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen.
What up, Oprah?
Oh, every time I close my eyes,
What you see, bro?
I see my name in shining lights.
What else?
A different city every night. I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire.
Good morning to the amazing ENS community. This is just another day in the day of a life of a DGen, right? We do this daily, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we spend our lives DGenning, and I felt like that was a very appropriate song to play because while we're having fun, right, I think ultimately the goal is to make a couple ETH while we're at it. At least that's why I'm in the game. I'm in the game to make some ETH. I'm definitely in the game to make some ETH and, help build some generational wealth. But today's topic of discussion, well, at least how we're going to start the show off, is this whole flag situation that's going on, how people feeling, I see two sides to this, and I'm neutral on it. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not here to tell anybody how to spend their ETH. I'm not here to tell anybody how to spend their money. Everybody here is capable of doing that. I'm not a financial advisor, but I am excited to see the community talk about it. I'm excited to hear what people on the speaker panel have to say about it. I'll share my thoughts on it real quick. The way I feel about it, I think it's a cool concept. I like the idea of what it's trying to be, But two things I want to say here. If you're going into it with the mindset of trying to make a 10x or a 100x, I think you're going in it with the wrong approach. Now, if you're going in with the mindset of, this is a cool thing to network and connect with other people, like-minded individuals from my country or from my region, then I think that's cool. I like the idea of that, right? But if you're trying to just completely degen in and think, oh, I'm gonna flip this thing for 100x in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think you're doing it wrong, right? I think you're doing it wrong because we have to step away from this quick flip mentality with everything. It's okay to be a long-term investor. It's okay to play the mid game, right? Just because an influencer mints 50 of these things, you don't have to jump in and try to mint 50 to try to make a quick flip. Every investor, and Ron said it best. He'll rather go to zero before he play the short game. But I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna pass the mic. Everybody who's made the most money has made the most money playing the long game, right? So, with that being said, Ron, Ron changed it from Bull Ron to Ron. I like the Bull Ron, but the stage is yours, brother.
Yeah, I've got RN. I have Bull Ron. I have Ron with the 0 that I'm using now, and I have RN1. So I've kind of been deciding. I still think that the keyboard thing is. I like the Bull Ron better too, and I have a lot of emojis and I love them, and I think there's been a lot of debate going on with the emojis, but I went back, kind of going back to what Master said about one keyboard. And I don't even know if people can tell that's a 0. So I don't know. I'm undecided. But anyway, I'm going to figure out which one fits best. But yeah, look, we're in the middle of a little mini gold rush. A lot of people saw what happened in .com, and that's going to bring them to wanting to get their ENS name. And as the more people talk about it, like I said over the weekend, I went on a barbecue, my wife's family's barbecue. Her cousin was the #1 blockchain guy in all the FBI, just retired. I helped him. He didn't know much about. He'd heard ENS, didn't know much about it. I was able to help. What I said to him is, hey, let's grab whatever names you really feel like you need, family names, and he had a couple names that he has. He has Gmails and all kinds of stuff. So I helped him secure those, and I think that's something we can tell everyone to do. There's going to be a little gold rush. People trying to secure the names, the good names, things like that. Having said that, we're in the midst of a death march. When you look at the macro, it's horrible. We have a lot of pain to come for probably the next year or two. So horrible. Real estate's going to shit. We're not, gas is, it dropped down last couple of days, but, it's probably could double from here. So we have a really gloomy macro overall environment we're working at. However, this is something that's good. But, even though we have kind of a bull run within a shit market, it's going to get a lot of attention to us. And I think there's nothing else to look at except ENS. So I think that's good. But yeah, I'm not planning on anything. If I don't sell one domain for 3 years, I'm okay. That's what I'm planning on. That I'm digging in my heels for that kind of battle. In regards to like the flags and stuff, look, I didn't buy into the 0x thing, but I get it. I didn't buy into that. I didn't even buy into the Arabic. I thought the Arabic was premature. Obviously, I was wrong there. Now I own some 4 digits. The flag thing, yeah, it's all great. There is potential dilution or whatever. I bought a bunch of Chinese, but that's because, I've been studying Chinese for, 30 years now. So I have a personal connection to it. I can give those things away, or I can ride them to 0. It's all good with me. But yeah, don't speculate too much. Gotta prepare your lifestyle, prepare everything for a 1 to 5 year grind, and then it can be life changing. we're going to have these euphoric days. We've had a few euphoric days since we've been doing these spaces, and in between can be dark days and just grind. So I did have to make an official prediction yesterday. Some of you may have seen it. So much sarcasm and bullshit from some Bored Apes that I finally had to make an official prediction that we flipped the 3 digits, flipped the apes before the end of the year. And look, there's just as many people on the other side of it who get it, but it's like, guys, I read that and I'm just thinking you were just lucky getting an ape because you don't see the trend. And so I feel pretty comfortable. There's only 999 of them, and we have the momentum on our side. Bored Apes around 80 ETH. I'm pretty comfortable in that prediction. It's not because I hate the Bored Apes. I love the Bored Apes. I've had 3 mutants, a dog, and some land, but it's just I couldn't believe the dumbasses talking smack. So I had to throw out that official prediction. I think I'm pretty comfortable with it. It's just simple supply and demand and momentum and use case and utility. So anyway, that's an official prediction I did have to throw down. So looking forward to the conversation today.
Yeah, man, I think that's a pretty good prediction. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, I seen some Bored Apes dudes yesterday. They created their whole identity, being a Bored Ape, and they were fading ENS, they're fading the digits. They didn't really understand it, and for me, it's just like, bro, it was kind of sad to see, because like I always say, we're on these spaces every day. We're doing this show every single day. So we're kind of lost in this bubble. So when I step out the bubble and I just hear the ignorance and the FUD against ENS, it kind of, rubbed me the wrong way. But that just shows that we have a lot more education to do for this community. And the last thing we need in this community is for the community to be going against each other, about some damn country flags, So with that being said, we'll pass it over to Master. The stage is yours, brother.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I wish you just have a great night seeing all those high sales and the biddings again and again. So yeah, as always, every day is a good day. Every news is a good news. As we can see, today there's a domain that 222.eth get received an offer for 122.eth, which is a wow, right? It's crazy, and its owner is a Chinese, and the guy just paid 80 ETH to acquire the games.eth. It's the same guy. The guy was super smart, and he didn't participate in the ENS project very early. I myself and Gary, some of us, we participated 4 or 5 years ago, but the guy just get on board 1 year ago, which was I think it was May last year. The guy paid 5 ETH to acquire top.eth, and he registered 30 some 3 digits, which was all the good 3 digits that can still open for registration, like 399,678, 003, 006, 008. Wow, so jealous, right? And the guy also paid 2 ETH at that time to acquire 222.eth. And now he's liquidating some of his bags, digits back, and start shopping on the premium names. I mean, 80 ETH for games.eth is crazy, right? But I think it's still a start only, because I think the previous owner of games.eth is kind of a paper hand. He just let go and make some profit. But yeah, I definitely think there's a longer run, game. So here comes the question, because after he acquired games.eth, in the one WeChat group we have games.eth, which is me, and games.eth, which was him. And some people believe game.eth's value is higher than game.eth, and some people believe game is better than games. So I'm going to, because we are not American, we are Chinese, and some things short is good, some things the plural is better, because it's a whole industry. I really need you guys help this time. Which one would you guys choose if it lets you mint or pick one for free for once? Would you pick game.eth or games.eth? You guys have any thoughts on that?
Honestly,
Game.eth for me, just because it's shorter.
When I think about subdomain potential, man, both of them are really good. I don't know. I think I might go with the S. when I think about subdomain potential, Xbox.games, PlayStation.games, Microsoft.games, Crypto.games. I think I like the games a little bit more personally.
For me, I don't know. I like game. I think they run pretty close together, right? I think games and game run pretty close together when you talk about branding and what companies are out there that have that plural in games. But as far as game, to me, there's so many other things we have to think outside of just the normal games that first come to mind when we think about video games. But there's so many other games that come into play that I believe could easily be used for that root domain game, which is the singular. But I'm telling you, Master, they're super close. However, if you decide to hold on and let games kind of run its path, I think that you could easily be able to the value of your game, singular, will continue to rise also.
Yeah, I can see different companies going for either. In English, what's the saying? Six one way, half a dozen another, and they're that close. If I was a big company, I would take either of them, and I think that's what you'll see. But yeah, I'm envious of both of you.
Yeah, much appreciate your guys' comments on that, because we know English. Some is once we plus the s, it means a whole new word, right? Like future and futures. Futures is like you put bets on it, so it's a different word. And comic and comics. Maybe comics is better than comic because it means the whole comics in industry. And maybe coin and coins. I think coins and games, they are very close on the comparison with each other. But yeah, I don't think it's a 100 to 0 vote, but there will be like 50-50, 60-40 something on that, right? But for Chinese, majority of us think short is better, right? And some, some of us just try to Google or Baidu using our local search engine to find the answer regarding which one is better. So I think the best answer should still come from you guys, from American English speaking folks. Yeah, really appreciate your guys' input. Anyone else raising your hand and give me a hint on that?
2769.
Master, I think it's gonna have different use cases, right? Like you said, different words. And so games maybe like NFT I don't know who said it, but PlayStation games makes sense. But what if you're a game developer, like like Blizzard, or you have one game, right? So I don't know how it's going to play out, and and it's gonna depend on the buyer and the application of that name.
Yeah, great. Appreciate it. Maybe some point of view we look at its massive adoption. How can it be under which kind of utility or features can it give its add value? But it's a simple question. To most people, the first eye you see on it, you will know the answer. Which one is more expensive, right? You really think this Ferrari is good, or you think that 911 Porsche is good, right? It's just Apple or pear. It's question. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So
No,
Matt,
game.eth is obviously better for me. I would buy game.eth before games.eth.
And I think real quick, Kev, I think also, Master, you have to keep in mind too that whomever that buyer is, they may want to acquire both of them. So you just never know what may happen in the future. They may want to kind of lock down both of those names.
yeah, I think 2769. Go ahead, bro.
Well, first off, it's good to see the bits coming in for these digits still. I found it very interesting, that all this drama with the flags and the passport, debate and whatnot. Look, you know, what's the whole point of ENS? All right, I'm being serious. Like, what's the whole point? Inclusion. All right. So the fact that people, and again, all these bored apes are fading us in ENS. Guess what? They, like you said, Kev, they made their identity through their bored apes. So how is it that we're not allowed to do the same thing with our digits, which again, mind you, there's no dev team like, that has to do an airdrop or create another other side land and like, a coda, whatever the crap it is. All right. you know, who's to say like, that Doodles doesn't do the same thing? Who's to say that Moonburst doesn't do the same thing? All right. So for Bored Apes to be like thinking that they're the upper echelon, and again, market says they are, but that doesn't mean like, other players aren't going to come in. And guess what? I honestly believe with Ron's point, three digits will flip Bored Apes. I'm sticking with Ron's point as well. Mark his words and mark my words. It will happen. And when it does, and it will, the Bored Ace will be freaking out. Franklin is bored. EB7, all those guys are going to start like, coming at us and like, being like, why is this a thing? Like, there's no like, creativity behind it. Well, guess what? It's an ecosystem. We've been on the ecosystem just like you guys did with purchasing a Bored Ape, hoping that it would take off. So, I never understood this. That's one drama that I never understood was the whole like, digits are like, nothing and like, you know, the flag, like, passport thing. I just don't understand the drama. It makes no sense to me.
The good news is we're in everyone's crosshairs. It wouldn't be happening if we weren't so much stuff. That's a good news. But yeah, and it's funny. The guy I bought my ape from, he owns like 30 of them. He 2 months ago he started pumping the digits. He got crucified, right? So he posted a few days ago. You guys are looking pretty dumb now, but yeah, it's split. But hey, the good news is we are in the crosshairs. That wouldn't be happening if we were insignificant. So I guess it's a good thing.
Great point. Great point.
Awesome. Let's keep it moving. 7147. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, I wanted to comment on that and the flag issue. Board A, it's like a tribalism again. Humans just they can't help it but create this kind of tribalism between us. But eventually they'll get it. I think a lot of it is lack of education, lack of exposure. We're so early, right? And we're lucky. And so I'm grateful to the space. I'm grateful to Master. And I'm not going to be like them and be like, oh, we're better than you and all of that. So let's just focus on what we're doing, and I think we will win. But as far as the flags, it's it became so controversial. Like, and I understand, but the way I see it, even in the NFT world, you have probably more than a million NFT right now. If you think like how many 10K collection there is, and there's new ones every day, and people buying these, rug pulls and they're losing money there too. At least if they buy a flag, which I don't have any, by the way, but I know 008, he's great, and I really like this idea. But we don't understand. I stand corrected many times, like with the Arabic digits. I didn't buy them. I am Arab, and I'm like, oh, even in the Arab world, they use English digits. So why would I do that? But now I'm seeing three-digit Arabic numbers selling for a ton of money, right? It could have really helped me out. But I don't know everything. But what I know is like we can't control people. People are gonna mint weird stuff. We can try to educate them that, hey, be careful. It's a liability, like Master said. So that like we're gonna see within a year if they did register them for a year, we're gonna see either a bunch of these flags expire, or maybe they've formed a club, or so, we don't know. So we'll wait and see. That's all I wanted to add.
Well, that's a great point. I mean, like, they again, like there's value to be added in every single project, right? I mean, I was speaking to a guy, like, and again, I'll add this really quick point before ThreadGirl comes in here, but you know, the point that I'm trying to make is that, you know, this is as inclusive as you can get. This is as diverse as you can get. And 7147 put it perfectly. The Bored Apes, again, I'm not generalizing them as all of them, but a good majority, it's tribalism. All right. And it's kind of sad that like, it comes off that they're coming off like that. A few bad apples are speaking for a collective group of 30,000 people that own like, Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, even more than that. So it's a shame that you have these guys are like, putting in, these bad mouth and like, digits and crap and just fading us. And then it puts a bad taste in people's mouth of what Bored Apes are. So honestly, like, I don't understand this bullshit, like, what they're coming through. And you know what? Like Ron said, when we flip them, in floor price, they could fuck off.
So my thing is this. I don't think this is only about the Bored Apes, right? I see
No, not at all, not at all.
yeah, 100%, 100%. But you guys do make great points. I do think there's some bad actors within that community that's fudding, but I see within this is to me the first time within the ENS community where there's true divide that I'm seeing, right? There's true like, yo, I don't fuck with this, and yo, I think this is a phenomenal idea. I literally see two sides of it. And from one side of it, I'm seeing people saying this is being pumped by influencers. This is simply a degen play being pumped by influencers, right? And I see another and basically it's being pumped because it's onboarding people into ENS and so forth and so on. And I see another side of it saying this is actually a really cool idea, and people just like the concept of it. So it's very interesting. Me personally, I don't own any flags. I'm not quick to mint anything or buy anything, right? I always do my research and sleep on it. I'd rather buy it at a higher price than go in and just degen off of something I'm not fully aware of. But we'll keep the conversation moving. I believe ThreadGirl is next, and then we'll go from there.
Hello everyone. Hope you are all doing well. Hello, Cav. Thank you for having me again, Ron. NFTverse 2769. Special shout out to you, man. Didn't catch you the last show. I'm glad to hear from you here this time. And yeah, so I wanted to comment a bit on the flags thing, right? I mean, we are all mature people here, right? We are all responsible for our own ETH and our own money. If you're not mature enough to make your own decision, this is not your place, right? Uh, I'm personally and for every degen play there is, and every whatever that comes on the space. Because I'm a degen, even before ENS, I used to mint all those degen shit, right? And if you go into my wallet, it will prove it. So, and I don't think there has been a division in the classes of ENS because of this. I think it's healthy to have different opinions and ideas, but it's more healthier that we attack the idea, not the people themselves, right? If you don't like whatever idea, say it. No one has any right to tell you otherwise, right? I see shit being minted all the time, and I retweet the registration bot, and I laugh because yeah, I find something stupid. I'm gonna laugh about it. Yeah, maybe for you, Cav, or for you, Ron, it means something personal to you. Who am I to tell you otherwise, right? So yeah, it is healthy to have different opinions and ideas about everything, but I mean, for God's sake, chill out, guys, chill out. We're dechaning, we're having fun. Yes, more clubs are more healthy to the ecosystem because they give a low entry point for new people. Uh, they uh, they make small communities for people who are new in the space to be helped even more, to be guided even more, you know. And I mean, do your own research, not financial advice, whatever. And if you're gonna listen to every influencer or whatever blindly, it's on you, man. It's on you. And I'm personally like, I stocked my bags with flags maybe they will do well and I will make shit ton of money, and maybe they won't. I don't care. I just made money, so I can afford to play this DJ and play, right? If you can't afford it, guys, for God's sakes, don't borrow money from the bank to mint even legit and solid words, because you don't know. We don't know. We are all new to the space. Uh, w- None of us knows exactly what's happening. Even the people who were in Web 2, can they guarantee that that .eth is gonna be the shit? We can't guarantee it. We are hoping for it. We are rooting for it. We believe in it because we believe in the tools that it's providing. But no one can guarantee anything at all. So yeah, that's my rant for today. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Thank you, ThreadGirl. That was good. And the biggest point I got from that is, hey, if you could afford it, do whatever you want to do. Is what it comes down to. But ENS video has been waiting very patiently. The stage is yours.
GM, it's your boy ENS Punks from
Holy shit!
one of many matching ENS matching Twitter accounts, but we're launching it. So if you go to this one, give me a follow, you'll see there is a ENSvideos.eth.limo website. We're getting the tutorials going, the tutorial videos. So I do want to talk about this flag deal. So first and foremost, I always say it, the rest of you all got these bags. My bags aren't shit compared to yours, but I do have 2 domains that I think are valuable. One of them just so happens to be an emoji, a flag emoji, a single flag emoji. There are only 3 legitimate single flag emojis, and I just happen to have one of them. I think it's very special. I think it's probably one of 2 ENS names I have that are valuable. And you know what your boy is going to do. Odds are he's going to give it away. And if you do not believe me, go to the ENS DAO forum. When that whole Brantley deal went down, I said, you know what? Let me jump in there and offer it. Let me donate it to the community because it is so special. I thought at that time, with that controversy, what I could do is donate this particular flag because of what it is, what it represents, back to the community to heal the community. So who else would be in their right mind be willing to just give up a single flag emoji, one of 3 that are possible? Your boy ENS Punks. So I only bring that up because look, I've been called hater as a result of all this controversy. I am not a hater. I am the most degen here. I guarantee you. I was on the emoji, 000, that emoji 420 way before any of you. How do I know that? Because I'm the only one who's got them that are already expired. They're sitting there expired. I was degenning before y'all even knew what was up. So that is first and foremost. I'm not even going to get into this back and forth, this influencer, this pumping, because I do have points of view on it, but I've moved on. That's the point. It is evolution. And my issue is not degenning. I love it. I love the fact that ThreadGirl got on it. Again, I was there before anybody else. Who am I to hate on it? I am not a hater. I'm for it. What I'm talking about is something different. So look at my boy Flossin, right? He's got that pirate flag.flossin.eth. And that is what I'm talking about. Only because what these flags are supposed to be going towards, clubs. I'm all for the clubs, the 999, the 10K. We want as many clubs, as many categories as possible. We have 00 in the crowd to thank for that ENS vision. That is part, if not the major part, of what's helped ENS get to this point. Clubs, categories. We did not have that before the numbers thing. So I am the last person not to recognize it, not to embrace it, not to love it. But once you start talking about passports, this is where I will get on my soapbox. Look, I am a lawyer in real life. Before I did corporate law, I did immigration, human rights law. I live in Miami, Florida, where people get arrested on the daily for not having IDs. They cannot get IDs. They cannot get those documents. Why? Because there's a central authority who hands them out and they say, these are our rules. You don't qualify. And that is bullshit. 2769 said it. Inclusion. That's what I'm talking about. 5159, you're sitting on a grail. Mint that subdomain, that usflag.5159.eth. have fun with it. And that's what me and my girl 3402, one of the queens herself, did yesterday. I, again, being called a hater, I said, look, I've been trying to airdrop myself into all the Queen's wallets. That's a whole separate thing. But I figured it out last night after I was called a hater. I said, here's the deal. I want that pirate flag .3402.eth. So I approached the Queen herself and I said, I will trade you any flag off of ENSpunks.eth that you want for a pirate flag off of your Grail. And she agreed. She said, okay, how about that pride flag.ENSpunks.eth? Boom, deal. And we traded subdomains. That is contract law 101, offer, acceptance, consideration, bargain for exchange. And it is a beautiful thing. No centralized authority. Nobody is telling me you need this to get a passport. You need this to get documentation. Fuck that. I made the passport. So there is a book. Everybody likes, these numbers. Go to 1729.com and you will read, you'll find a free book. It's called The Network State. That's what we're talking about. No more arbitrary invisible lines cutting up this earth. We are the new country. It is our invisible community, this network of people, and we are in control of the documentation. We don't need anybody else. It is us. So again, this is the only reason I did it now, but ENSvideos.eth, follow me, get on that website. You're going to see 2 videos. The second is that subdomain video. It is 40 minutes long. I walk you through everything, how we're going to do this. And we are not going to be relying on anybody. And I'm not going to attack anybody. Like ThreadGirl said, it is not about the people. It is about the ideas. I am here to promote this idea. Like I said, I am that original degen with emoji triple number. I degen hard. Like I said, it's expired. I could renew that shit. There's a reason I let it expire, because I've got grails and I'm building grails on top of grails. I want to see y'all build grails on top of grails. And I want to see you exchanging. That is that reputation, right? So 5159, I'm going to hit you up after this and say, I want pirateflag.5159.eth, and I will give you any emoji that is available off of ENSpunks, and we will exchange it because I trust you. There is reputation at stake. And guess what? The best part is, one of the reasons these subdomains have not been adopted to date, we're waiting for the name wrapper, is because if I give you a subdomain, I can rug you. But that's when just the wheels turned and I figured it out. This is the perfect use case. I can give you a subdomain, you give me a subdomain, and that is mutually assured destruction. I can rug you. If I rug you, you can rug me right back. It's like the perfect use case for this while we wait for that subdomain name wrapper, where there will be that additional option, that fuse that'll burn that trust. And we're going to want that. But again, that's just an option. We have this beautiful tool in front of us, sort of like the numbers, where these beautiful domains in front of us for years. Nobody saw it, but I'm seeing it now. And the key to it is watching my video number 2. And I'll get off my soapbox. You've given me plenty of time. Thank you all, and peace.
If no one tries the passport, then it will never become an idea. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, ENSpunks. I do want to say this, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the next speaker. This is the ENS Morning Show. We do this every Monday through Friday from about 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're enjoying the conversation, if you're enjoying the speakers on panel today, go ahead and do us a favor and retweet this room. Let's spread the message to the community. This is the ENS family, the largest community of all of Web3. With that being said, the NFT verse, the stage is yours, brother.
GM to the community, GM to the speakers on the panel. Just to kind of touch back on the topic, right? The topic is we want to talk about the flags a little bit. I'll tell you guys. I mean, I have a couple of flag options that I picked up and registered, right? And for me, it was just I have the freedom to do that, right? I can do that. I've been in this space for a while now, and I've seen so many different things happen, so many different things that help, bring communities together. The 999 Club. If we talk about clubs, right? I think about, the way that Facebook kind of, started off, Web 2, right? Or you think about certain forums that were in the Web 2 era, where people had memberships to these forums and memberships to these groups that are online, Facebook groups or whatever. It's no different than what we're looking at in Web 3 with the flag emojis. This is a derivative of a potential group that could be started, right? We don't know what longevity looks like with those groups, but it does give people the opportunity to come and be a part of something, right? And what we have to also think about is that we can't talk numbers, we can't talk volume, we can't talk growth without including them, because they've made purchases, they've registered these things. So when we talk numbers and ENS numbers and the millions and the number of wallets, we can't exclude the flags, right? There's no filter on the numbers when we talk numbers where you can exclude the flags. If there is, let me know, but I doubt if there is. So we have to include all of that when we speak numbers. When Flossin gives the report, the weather report, we're talking numbers, right? So all of those people who have purchased and decided to purchase a flag emoji, a penguin emoji, a dog emoji with a digit behind it, I don't care what it is. It all factors in, and it all sums up to the numbers that we talk about every single day. So until there comes a point where we're able to break them down into categories and then speak about the true volume of every single derivative out there, then that's a whole nother topic. But at the end of the day, let's allow these things to happen. They have to occur. It's only natural that these things occur in this space. We've seen it so many times, and we see it each and every day in this space. Time will be the ultimate teacher, right? Sometimes that we can't take on that responsibility as individuals. Sometimes time has to be the ultimate teacher, and we have to allow these things to happen and allow these things, this cycle to occur, in order for things to get a little bit cleaner. And I talked about clean, right? You guys already talked about that. But time will allow that to happen. So we have to sit back. We have to pay attention. We have to continue to educate people as much as possible. We have to continue to repeat ourselves numerous times every single day. But people will get it. And when the people start rolling in and the masses start rolling in, you'll see that. I posted something earlier this morning. I label it the ENS journey in a nutshell. Take a look at that post if you can. I don't know, Kev. I think I copied you on it. If you can pin it, Kev, that'd be great. Take a look at that post. I'm not saying that it captures everything on a granular level, but at a high level, that's the journey that we're going on right now. And that'll open up your eyes a little bit if you read it carefully and understand cycles. Hopefully I was able to embody what those cycles are. I look forward to the discussion, Kev. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, I just pinned it. To the top. If you guys want to take a look at that, yeah, it's pinned to the top. So thank you, NFT Verse. We'll keep the show moving. I believe 448 was next. The stage is yours.
Hey guys, so it's been crazy last week, and yeah, it has been crazy, and I agree that all volume is good, all the clubs are good, it brings adoption, it's good, good DAO gets more revenue, so it overall makes the situation better, but there's this thing which I have noticed that people like to make value out of nothing. We can see it with the Fed printing USD, which is essentially nothing. Then there's a lot of people coming in making some fugazi crypto projects so they can mint their coins and control the supply. Same with a lot of NFT projects, and it seems like now this tendency has come into ENS with the people coming up with some arbitrary rarity collections. Like I saw just a few hours ago, there a comment you can mint like E and two numbers like E00, E01, because stands for Ethereum. Yeah, there's like hundreds of them, but are they really valuable? I really doubt. Probably if there are like billion new people coming in, any three character domain could be somewhat valuable, but at the moment I think there are much better place like secondary markets for words. So I would say it's all good. I'm happy that there are these clubs, but be cautious of them. Don't really get trapped in these fake rarities, these low supplies of something made up, and especially if they are like 3 and 4 characters, because there are people registering them for like days or just a month. So be aware. And I think the best play right now, when everybody is focused on digits and these collections, just go to on secondary, look for some words, bid on some words. There are a lot of bids coming in, but you can still find some deals. Yesterday I got OTC deal for realized.eth, which is really cool, because when you say realized, you mean like realized gains, unrealized gains. It's really in a financial context for zero point 0.6 ETH. That's like I felt like rubber, but yeah. Just I would say there are a lot of plays, and maybe it's better to look where other people are not looking at the moment. But yeah, I'll only allow good vibes.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that. I do think there's some really good opportunities in the market. It looks like the three letters are starting to pick up and pump. I felt some of that FOMO this morning, and I ran and got me one three letter. Um, I want to get more, but man, those renewal fees, a lot of them are expiring within a couple of days or a week or two, and it's like, jeez, man. But I did pick up one. I'm actively searching for another one. My budget is not the biggest, so if you have a good one and you're trying to look to offload it, shoot me a message. I'm actively trying to buy a second one right now. But we'll keep it moving. The stage, 93, 96, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning to the panel, to the speakers. And I wanted to start with something. I cooled down a little bit after last night when I jumped on Leo's space, and it was middle of the night. I had to walk outside my house just to wake up everybody. And I went outside and I started this, talking about the passports and flags in a pretty, maybe I went too hard, but it was an honest opinion I had. And I bought flags, a couple of them, when the whole thing started. And then, I saw them develop into maybe passports. And I was okay, I'm watching that. And then the passports suddenly in the chat that was created for and is active right now for the flags, it developed into, well, let's do the gated communities like on Discord. And I was like, oh, gated communities. So you have to have passports to get you to certain communities. If you don't have this passport, it's your ID. You will not get there. And I jumped on this space and I told a little story why I moved into this space from Tezos, from World of Art and stuff. When the war happened between Russia and Ukraine, the flag of Ukraine was like became such a big part of propaganda on a daily basis. And where I live, it's basically shoved down your throat. I mean, you cannot oppose it. If you oppose it, you are an enemy not only of the state, but you can get really in big trouble. If you say you're Russian, or if you pull up a Russian flag in where I live, you will get killed in some territories. So I was just trying to say that the idea of passports and to some extent flags is such an old Web 2 idea. It's such an old concept that divided so many people. that those flags are associated, some say, with food, with dances, and I don't give a shit about that. More is like the backstory, the story of those flags is filled with, in a lot of cases, divisions, pain, blood, conquering other nations, enslaving other people, fighting. And why I moved to this space was the numbers, the Anon culture that got me in love with this space. I know, you guys have avatars, and that's the beauty of it. I have to go through that and listen to your accent and maybe guess where you're from, get personal with you, and you can tell me I'm from this part of the world, on that part, and I think that's beautiful discovering that. But labeling that, and the concept went further. There's an app that basically creates this like token gated communities for different nations, and I'm like, it's I don't know, I don't get it, because for me, building a new world is almost like we have to destroy the old system, and we will have to. Eventually it will fall. All the nations, the boundaries, the passports, it will be a thing of a past in probably 10 or maybe 15 years, I believe so, because that's just written in the code. That's how blockchain will just fucking destroy this whole thing. And I imagine like being a Russian going into a full room of Ukrainians. It's impossible. Being a Palestinian going into a full room of Israelis. It's impossible. Flags and passports are weaponized on daily basis. And I was trying to say that. So I expressed my point of view. And but I learned, I'm just getting to my point. I learned I just have to think about this space with more distance, because I'm really all about building new things and believing in them and having the community around that, and maybe saying we, but it's more decentralized. It's me and you. We make our choices, like so many of you said. Time will just fade. We'll just filter these things, and we'll learn that that passports are just things that can get you in trouble, like in real life. And we are just trying to replicate that because we are sentimental as people and we want to make these groups and shit. But why building them on passports that are thing so much controlled by the state? I don't get that idea. I fell in love with 008's B cards, and I get that. Getting really anonymous, cards to each one of you, getting to know you, that's great. But having a passport is like, I fucking hate passports, and I fucking hate, states. I don't want states. I just want the states to go fucking down, because I suffered because of states, and I rebel in real life against states. I go against the fucking state. I go against the fucking country. I go against my fucking government. I go against that shit, and we'll have to eventually, because they will hunt us and they will not tolerate our movement, just like we are wearing some happy pink glasses. I'm not wearing those glasses. I'm walking on real ground. And much respect to everyone who's doing his own choices. I will make mine. I'm
De-
not getting a passport.
definitely. And in 93, 96, I appreciate the passion that you speak from, right? Because you speak from an experience that me personally, I cannot resonate with being in the in the States. But I definitely understand your perspective, and you bring a healthy perspective to this conversation. But ThreadGirl did have her hand up, and I would love to hear what she has to say about it as well.
Okay, so 93, 96. Trust me, I totally know where you're coming from, and I am in your shoes, right? Because we both live in, let's just call them not too safe territories or conflicted areas of the world, fine. And I am a rebel like yourself, but I think we are kind of like not using the right terminology of gated community of or passport or whatever, because if you go to the Discord of 999 Club, you cannot enter it if you didn't have a 999 a domain, right? If you go to the 10K club, it's the same. If you wanna go to the Discord of whatever, bored apes, goops, frogs, I don't know, I'm just checking out the profile pictures here.
Excuse
You
me, just
cannot.
just for a minute, just a quick thing, because I was thinking about it, just to answer you quickly. But you can aspire to get these domains, to get these numbers, and to get into those communities and be with these people you want to be with. But if you want to aspire to get into a Ukrainian gated channel being a Russian, you cannot even fucking imagine that for next 100 years. Same with Palestine and Israel. I'm not talking about some imaginary things. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's like, you know what I mean? This, you cannot even dream about that.
Yes, yes. I totally understand where you're coming from, really. But what I want to say is it's not like that because I am Lebanese. I cannot register, I can only register the Lebanese passport, the Lebanese flag, or whatever. It's not that 5159 is American. He can only register the American flag. On the contrary, I am looking at this as a way of more inclusion because, god damn it, I have 10 different flags in my OpenSea account, and in real life I cannot have a visa to the closest place possible because my country is shit. That's why. So yeah, this is a way for me to be able to connect to more states and to more. And I totally agree with you. I hate the idea of states. I fucking hate it, and I hate the idea of boundaries. And yes, I do wish if if I live in a lifetime where if I wanted to visit the United States right now, I could just go on a plane and visit it. But I did apply to a visa 2 years ago and it got rejected. So I totally understand where you're coming from. Um, but then again, maybe this is going to be the step one towards total inclusion in Web3. Ron having a Lebanese flag in his wallet, or 2769 having a Australian flag in his wallet, and so on and so on. And trust me, I'm not defending this. I really don't care about it. It's a degen play for me personally. But I think we're taking it a bit too far with like gated communities or passports or whatever. Like it's the first time maybe ever I feel like I have multiple passports. So yeah.
That's hilarious. I want to just curiosity. How does it work? If I want to do a flag, do I just put like flag 1, flag O1, or flag 001? You know,
All of them can work. I mean, you can have a flag 1, flag 01, and flag 001. And when you have this flag, there is this app that just puts you in the right channel. And when you have the flag, you get into the gated community of whatever nation you bought the flag from. So it's like almost like the same old system that we know from the ground, from our reality, just replicated in web 3. It's like almost like we are going back. In my terms, it's like going backwards, because I said to one of those guys who asked me yesterday, so what is your agenda? What the fuck do you want? And I'm like, I want an island that we all own, and I want to be under ENS flag for the rest of my life. I want one flag, ENS flag, and an island that we just go, all of us go there, different nationalities, black, yellow, white, whatever. I mean, we all end up on that island and put up our flag. This is the flag I believe in. I believe in ENS flag. I don't believe in a flag of my nation. and I don't believe in a flag of that nation and passports. Just this is just so fucking old to me that I'm like,
Well,
you're still selling this shit? Come on.
well. While I do agree with a couple of your points, I have to disagree with some as well. When we see the flag, a flag for a lot of cultures, I'm American, but my background is from the islands, is from Caribbean culture, right? And we wear that with pride. We wear that that's who we are. That's what we stand on. That's what I would die on, right? Because that's the culture that we have. I think flags from across the nation. Yes, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And while I don't own any flags, and I probably will not buy any flags because I'm not that much of a degen, I do believe flags do mean a lot to a lot of people, for culture, for pride, for who we are, for where we come from, for what we've been through, and where we're going in the future. So while there is the bad to it, and how you said some certain countries can't wear certain flags, but every country, would want to represent every country. Let me not say every country. That is a wrong statement. But a lot of people wear their flags with pride. I will say that a lot of countries wear their flags with pride. So we
Yeah, I
can't
know.
compare.
But Kevin, if you have a passport from Russia now, you're banned from almost the whole world. I mean, it puts you in a basket where you can be taken everything from you. They can confiscate everything from you because you are Putin's guy. I mean, let's not forget about the nations and flags that are so weaponized, so hostile. That I know where you're coming from. It's so cool to for me. It's so cool to have Emirates flag. It's like a nostalgia for me. But it's like you have this Russian passport. You cannot move. Sportsmen, people who do sports, are banned from traveling for being a part of sports communities because of the fucking damn passport. You know what I'm? Let's not forget about this, because passport is not only having a Hawaiian roots and having this flag. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Respect to everybody, but it's like I'm looking at this like with real in real world. It's just that.
Not, I feel that 93, 96. And like I said, this is an open community forum. We don't shit on nobody for their opinions, for their thoughts. This is what the space is all about. There is no one mind thinking. This is his way of thinking. I have my own way of thinking. We all have our own way of thinking. We'll go to NFT verse, and then we'll go over to Gary. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I was just gonna say, can someone like is there like a pass? Someone catch me up. I've been listening for a while. Is there like a proposal of doing a passport thing, or what is why does people keep on saying passport? Is it forced, or is it like a word for the club? Because if people are being
So
forced into a passport, that's bad. But if a passport's like a membership to a club, that's okay. Just catch me up.
yeah, basically it's well, somebody else could probably explain it who actually owns one. I don't own one, so I'll let an owner of a
It's just a
passport.
club, like a club ticket for the flag category.
Yeah,
Base,
it's a
yeah.
it's a ticket to a club, because if you own a flag, it's an initiative by 008 and I believe Daniel, and now there is an app that helps with the gating those passport communities. So yeah, it's like your ticket
Okay,
to
so this
999
is like a
club.
degen community thing. This isn't like a government thing, right? This is basically the same thing as the Bored Apes. You don't got the
Yeah,
NFT, you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
go to the
yeah.
club. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like you don't have the NFT, you don't get food. You don't got the NFT, you don't get to travel. You don't
Yeah.
got the NFT, you don't get to send your kids to education, because there is like a real life digital passport that's coming. Like we know that, right? That's no longer a conspiracy, right? We're into real life news, right?
Yes,
So
CBDC shit. Yeah.
yeah, and digital passports and COVID passports and shit like that. So I mean, I'm a little sensitive on this subject because this is some real shit type talk that we're like real shit that we're talking about. When it's coming from sort of like a government, and it's very real, and it's literally on the horizon. And it gets a little muddying of the conversation, because I mean, we're just talking about clubs. We're not denying people basic rights like a real passport, like a Russian passport or American passport or things like that. So I just want to let people know that there's a real fight coming, um, and what we're talking about is a whole lot of fun, right? So
I want to save the heat that I have inside of me. I want to save that heat for the real threat. But yeah, we can continue fighting amongst our individual ENS nations here. This is cool.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, and honestly, I'm becoming more entertained by this topic. We probably shouldn't be talking about this long, but this is entertaining for me, guys. I'm sorry. Matter of fact, it's been so entertaining. We haven't even done the weather report yet. Flossin, please. What is the weather looking like for the markets today?
That is how I'm feeling today, guys. GM, shout out to my boy, ENS Videos, aka ENS Punks. I've been looking at some places on the islands to kind of get away, catch some vitamin D, because I sure as hell need it. I'm too pasty right now. Yeah, maybe TMI.
We out, bro. We out, bro. Let's go.
All right, but I linked up with ENS Punks last night. He was catching some flack over his brainstorming, his innovation with these subdomains, and you know what? I'm gonna make him the controller of this pirate flag. It just fits me well, fits him well, fits a lot of us well. So I'm gonna be rocking this for a little while. Shout out for you again, sir, teaching. I'm gonna watch that video you sent me in the DMs. Shout out. Let's get that thing posted, because we do need some more people onboarded and spread that education, because that's key, right? Education's key, because y'all touched on it a little bit earlier. I'm not going to really make too many comments of what's going on with the trends, but I'll leave this with a little bit of statistics, right? A couple weeks ago, CNBC did a report about Americans and the consumers. 58% are living paycheck to paycheck. Yesterday, Unusual Wells dropped a little stat. Millennials, 70% of millennials are living paycheck to paycheck. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but most of these degens cannot afford to be a degen. So let's just keep spreading the love, the education, and hopefully we can save a few asses, okay? So let's get right into it. Today, not looking too hot. ENS is down 34% with 656 ETH volume in the last 24 hours. Traditional markets, I'll just keep it brief. Yeah, they're not looking too good at the lows of the day. For the Dow, NASDAQ's negative, S&P's negative. I will say a lot of commodities are down. A lot have broke the 200-day moving average. Wheat has broke the 200-day moving average. Gold is down a lot. Oil's going down to that 200-day moving average that I've been talking about it now, about the 93, 94 level. That'll be interesting if we break that 200-day moving average. Again, I'll keep stressing that. Is that what the markets need to turn? We do have elections coming up. A lot of these people do not want political suicide. So it'll be interesting to see where this potential additional capital we could see, be put into which markets and where. Going back over to what we really care about, crypto. Yeah, again, 999 Club has just broke the 30 ETH floor. We're sitting at 29.8. That 24-hour trading volume is at 33 ETH. 10K Club, it's looking all right. We're a little below the 1.8 floor. We are looking at 171 ETH volume in the last 24 hours. I will say this, we're moving on to the 999 Arabic Club. Shout out Kev. Man, what are y'all doing over there, Kev? Y'all are just fumbling the bag over there. Mark Sanchez butt fumbling. We're now below the 3 ETH floor over there with a 24-hour volume of 50 ETH. Last but not least, the Arabic 999 Club. It just gets worse by the day. 22 ETH 24-hour volume with a floor price of about 0.05. I will say there's a couple things that have caught my eye recently. The 3 letters are kind of heating up, seeing some good sales with that. We did have overnight lemon sold for 15 ETH or 15 wheat, whatever you want to call it. And then also just a few minutes ago, Casper.eth sold for 5 ETH. No, we're not talking Casper, the friendly ghost. I'm pretty sure this is the mattress company someone's buying. If it's them, I have no clue. I've been, listening to you guys bicker about these damn flags. I'm just here for the good times, the damn money. So let's get our bread up, because I need to eat. Kev, you need to eat. I'm trying to make my way down to Orlando and get some of that vitamin D.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on, Kevin. we have a guy doing the weather report, and he doesn't mention that Jim Cramer came out yesterday, said crypto was awful and NFTs are worthless.
Hey Ron, you know what's funny? I was actually that was gonna be my intro. It was that snippet, but I was like, man, I don't want Kev to boot me out of here and CNBC
what
start.
a dumbass that guy is. What a dumbass that guy is. It's like I feel like the bear market might be over now after reading that. I mean, does that guy even
100%.
freaking realize how stupid he is?
Well,
My
Ron,
God.
you gotta be careful. Like I almost like crap the brick because I was really worried that he was about to say crypto's back in season. Everybody buy crypto. I was like, oh my God, that means we're going to zero. So the fact
I know,
the fact that
man.
he's
saying,
yeah. So whatever he says is literally him and Shift. Whatever they say is the opposite.
Hey Ron, he's only down 30% on the year. Okay, give the man a break. He's making some money, right?
What a sellout piece of shit. Anyway, sorry. I'm going.
You guys got
Oh, no. Continue with that, Ron. Continue that anger. I love it.
I'm telling you. Well, let me tell you what. Somewhere when I ever unpack all my storage, I've got every book he ever wrote, and I'm telling you, they're going right in the trash. That guy used to be my mentor. When I got into, he was way back then. Before he was a television sellout, dipshit, dumbass of the world. He was a hedge fund manager, and I'm telling you, he was my mentor. I looked to that guy for everything, and it's like, what the hell happened, man? Or either that, or I was too naive back then to realize. But man, just pathetic, man. I don't know how else to say. See,
Bear Stearns call. I'll never forget that Bear Stearns call, Ron, when he said to never sell Bear Stearns, and then it tanked.
Guys, look though.
Never forget that.
Guys is pumping his bags. He's driving fear and panic in the market. Everybody's selling their bags. Crypto's going lower, and he's loading his bags up. I think that's how the game works with these guys. When they manipulate the market, they pump their bags and then they moon. But hey, I don't know. I don't know much about who Jim, whatever the guy's name is. I'm a millennial. I'm one of the millennials that Flossin was talking about that could probably not even afford to be a degen, but yet here I am still doing this. But I if I had to take an educated guess, I don't think this guy's probably just pumping his bags.
That's
just watch the clip so you can look at the disdain on his face and stuff. He's just like, I retweeted it as the clueless one has spoken. So check out my tweet. Watch that clip. This guy is pathetic.
Hey Ron, I'm gonna make a proposal. Those books that you're talking about, Jim Cramer, let's fucking use them to start a massive bonfire on your island. That sounds
How did I know you were gonna start that? How did I know you were gonna say bonfire?
Let's do it.
I don't know you were gonna say bonfire, Flossin. That you only
the
do.
accent says it all, right? I mean, I am a fucking hick that wears cowboy boots and overalls.
I mean, you do have also a pirate flag, our matey. That's what you were thinking. I'm
Captain Jack Sparrow, bitch.
Oh, shut up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving right along. No Jim Cramer, and good report today. Besides missing that one huge fact, but NFTverse, I know you had your hand up for a while before we kind of went over to the report. If you want to kind of share what was on your mind, that would be great, bro.
Oh, actually, just to kind of share some things, I just want to share, a little bit of my philosophy, kind of, in this ENS space. Again, I started off some, not, I guess you can't call it early. I want to say it was around like October, November of 2021 when I first minted my first ENS domain. And during that time, I started when I was minting them. I was kind of taken back by the fact that it was so early. I really didn't know what to do, and but I did dabble in .com a little bit. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit of history. I did dabble in .com a little bit, so I knew what I knew about registrations. I knew about domain registrations. And my philosophy behind, the ENS is that 95%, maybe even 98% of what I've minted has been strategic, right? It's always been a strategy of mine to get whatever something clean I can, come up on, that was my goal. And I can say that 95% of what I hold today are either clean digits or clean emojis, clean short hyphen words that make sense in real life, some names, and then just some clean words in general, and then some Indian industries, right? That was my approach, and then maybe 3 to 5% of what I own is just for fun, right? Kind of going back to the flag thing, right? It's for fun, and just to kind of touch on that a little bit, I use this example, right? If I have an American flag, on my particular, if I have a domain, or I choose to use that identity as an American flag for whatever, right? And it's on my profile, here on Twitter, and then I see somebody else, let's say I see ThreadGirl, with her flag on her profile. I may try to interact with her and learn a little bit more about her culture, right? Because it's something that we've learned to try we've learned to communicate on here. We're starting to know people on here, whether it's by their PFP profile or even if it's by that flag. If I know that she has that flag on there and I know she's from a certain country, then I may want to say, hey, I've always wanted to try this particular food right here, over there. To me, it could also be a conversation starter to start to know someone and get to know somebody's culture, because sometimes we can kind of get lost a little bit in trying to understand. This is a world stage right here. Everybody in this room right now are from different places. And I think that, with the narrative behind kind of what 93, 96 or something like that, what he was saying, with the gatekeeping and everything like that. And Gary did a great job of just kind of breaking that down. But I think all in all, it's important just to understand that, we're all here. And if there's something that you have pride in and that you believe in and that you love within your culture, it's okay to represent that. Because like I said, I want to be able to see somebody's profile and know that they're from whatever place in the country, and be able to say, hey, you know what, I've been there before, have you ever heard of blah blah blah? Or these are types of things that generate the conversations and the transparency that we all are looking for in this space, and everybody being on this space today represents those first steps. That we're at the ground level right now. We don't know what's going to come out of this whole thing, but one thing I do know is that people are coming together right now. So what's wrong with getting to know where they're from?
Hey, I hope I'm not stirring the hornet's nest, but I just went and registered every little religious looking symbol I could .eth and switched my name. So hopefully that doesn't poke the bear and cause any more bullshit.
Yeah, definitely, guys. The most important thing here, like, man, just have fun. Don't get too worked up over what the inevitable is, because the truth is you can't control it. I can't control it. The natural phenomenon of the universe is going to play out, right? If guys are pumping the flags, it's going to happen with or without you, with or without whatever you could do, and you can't do nothing about it, right? You could probably try to speak up about it or whatever, but the most important thing about it is have fun in this game. Don't get worked up over what other people are doing. Don't get worked up over others' wallets. You know what I'm saying? If you like it, mint it. If you're okay with it going to zero, mint it. If you're doing a degen play, mint it. If you don't like it, don't mint it. If you don't fuck with the idea, stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't want us to get extremely worked over and stressed out, and people unfollowing each other and all this crazy shit over a little bit of everybody's just trying to make it. But a lot of us, like Gary said yesterday, are not gonna make it. But Stevie, your hand is up, brother.
What is good, ENS family? I'm trying to make it. You already know. So I
Let's
got some
go.
questions. I got some questions and some some scenarios
Hey,
that I
Kev, I'll say
want.
one quick thing. We got a minute.
Am I lagging out?
Nah, he just said screw you and want to go.
I guess so. I guess so. But
I was just gonna say, I like to have fun, but what's even more fun are my bags. So if someone's just trying to throw some money around, just come take a look at my bags. Like I've been told by a few queens, maybe I'm like a box of chocolates. Okay, you don't know what you're gonna get. So
hey, screw
what's
the bag pump
what's
here,
better
man.
than a
I
little
got
bit of
serious
mysterious
questions. I got
action?
serious questions, dog.
Reset the room.
All right. Hopefully that calmed everybody down just a little bit. Stevie, the stage is yours. Sorry for our friends who interrupted you. Go ahead, brother.
All good, all good. So what I'm just curious on, like, when I'm trying to mint an ENS domain, why are some of them costing way more
It
than
was meant to
others?
be, Kev.
Hold on. You
This
and
man
Stevie,
disrespectful, bro.
you and Stevie must be in
Okay,
in
you caught
cahoots.
me. You caught me. That's my burner. I'm pulling a Novax.
Stevie, do you know Flossin, brother?
I have no idea who that dude is.
Hey, let me chill. You already got like a few suspicions about me, okay? Like I do not have a burner, but I will give you an FYI. I did have someone slide in my DMs on Discord. They did mint, no bullshit. You can look it up on ens.domains. They minted the real flossin.eth. So if I start getting trolled, it's not me. Just fair warning.
Well, the real concern, Flossin, is that he shows up in this room and he does a better job flossing than flossing. And then you're going to be the fake Flossin because his Twitter handle says the official Flossin, and so he must be the real Flossin. I'm starting to wonder about you, man. Anyway, Stevie, I wanna hear your question.
I can answer Stevie's question if somebody wants. I don't know if this is serious or
Yeah.
a joke, but
No, I think it's a serious question.
all right, Steve.
I'm new to this space, dog.
Fair
Like
enough.
I'm not
I
bullshitting.
heard your question. Here's the answer. If you register a 3-character, it costs around, I don't know, $6.75 a year. If you register a 4-character, it's about $175 a year. And then if you register 5 characters or more, it is $5 a year. Now those are the registration fees. When you submit that transaction, just like everything else on the blockchain, you're going to pay some gas fees. So that gas fee would be in addition. Now, check out my account, ENSvideos.eth. I got 2 videos for you, Stevie. That first one is how to register an ENS name. It is long-winded because I am long-winded. I'm a talker, but I will take you from A to Z, everything you wanted to know and more. So watch video number 1, how to register an ENS name. And then I got that video number 2, once you got your ENS name, how to register a subdomain. So what we're talking about here is repping maybe your country, repping something else, having
Get to his
fun
answer.
with it. I'm sorry, Joe?
Get to his answer.
I did.
You're selling.
He did. No. He got me. I appreciate it, man.
No, you.
I'm
You
I
answered
thought
it.
you asked. I thought you asked why is it sometimes more. Oh, I thought the answer was because of the expiration fee. Like sometimes you go to register a name and the fee is higher than what you expect. Yeah. Yeah. You were right with ENS videos. Was that? You were right that if it's 3 characters, 4 characters, or 5 characters plus, those are 3 different price points. And my numbers are different. I think my numbers are $640, $160, and $5. But there's a little bit extra because of chain link. I don't want to get down that road. So that's one of the reasons the pricing is different. The other reason the pricing could be different is because when a name it expires and then it has 90 days in grace period, and then after 90 days in grace period goes by, then it really expires. I got to make sure my nomenclature is right there, but it drops, and then anyone is able to buy it. At that point, it goes into a Dutch auction, which starts very high and then goes down very low over 21 days. I'm pretty sure it's 21 days, might be 20, 28. I think it's 21. And so it starts at $100 million and it goes down to 0. And so you might be looking at a 4-character name and maybe it's like a 5-character name and maybe it's $1,000. That would be because it's still in that auction
premium. I think premium. I think the term. I think Gary, what it says is you can register it with the premium, and I think that's the verbiage, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that answers my question. I appreciate it, y'all. I also have this. I saw a tweet earlier, and it said, anybody above 45 years old will not be close to minting anything with an emoji in it. Do you guys think that's true or what?
No, because I have about 50 of them. So, and I'm older than 45. So I may be the exception, though.
Emojis are, an artifact of the mobile web, I would say. And people that use mobile phones are more. I don't know. I would guess actually that they're more likely to be younger, even though it's hard to say. But I do know for a fact that mobile traffic on the web is more than desktop traffic.
I
And
feel
I do
like there
know
would
that.
be a barrier though, since like emojis on the desktop or laptop are not as accessible.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that the majority of traffic and the majority of website traffic in the world, being like a web professional, I know that it comes from mobile phones. And the majority of computers in the world, I'm 99% sure, are mobile phones. It's more likely that someone owns a mobile phone, which is a supercomputer, than they own a actual computer. Not just in America, but like think about the cities and right, and think about all the kids. But not just like in America, but all over the world. That I'm pretty sure that there's villages that don't have running water or electricity, but they have a means of communication, or some sort of phone or something like that, with like literally solar charger type deal, right? And so I just think mobile phones are, yeah, they're newer, which means that older people are more likely to have adopted technology in general. Um, but yeah, so the point is that emojis are an artifact of the mobile web and by default, naturally a younger generation. But it's never an absolute. If it's never an absolute. If you're doing web analytics or if you're doing conversion and you get 100% conversion rate, you mess something up because you should never get 100% conversion rate. If you get zero, then you mess something up. It should never be zero. So when someone's saying something like that, they're not really saying it's going to be zero people that age group that's doing it. They're trying to say it's going to be like, in statistical terms, the way I would interpret it, they're basically saying, yeah, it's going to be like 20%, so it's not worth your time, or it's going to be like 10% of older people are never going to do that. So it's not worth your time to target that. That's kind of how I would think about it and guide you.
Hey, you know what's crazy talking about mobile phones and supercomputers? The devices we're listening to these spaces on, at least my device, this iPhone that I'm on, these little mini supercomputers are more powerful than what President Nixon, used to run the entire country back in the 70s. The presidents using the 80s, the 60s. These devices are so
It's more
powerful.
powerful than the computers that got us to the moon.
And that is crazy
Literally,
to see.
literally, we got to the
Yeah,
moon
bro.
with less computing power than way less computing power than each of our phones have.
Gary,
Yeah.
you actually believe we went to the moon?
I listen, guys. This isn't the time and place, but I know every single conspiracy there is, and I probably believe 90 of them, 95% of them. It's hard to say, and I'll say two things about it. The first is that flat Earth is a conspiracy to throw everybody. It's a red herring to throw everybody off the trail of the inner Earth theory. Right? I'm a Vernian. Stands for Jules Verne. Go read a book. And and as far as like us not going to the moon, there was footage of us at the moon, and there was fake footage that was broadcast. In my particular theory on the moon subject is that I'm sorry to like that someone threw me on a tangent. It's so easy to give me a scroll, guys. But my theory on the moon thing is that while they were doing a secret mission, possibly on the dark side of the moon, or possibly like going to a particular spot, while they were doing that, they played the fake footage. And so everyone's watching the fake footage and they're pointing to the fake footage that was broadcast saying, that's obviously fake. And it is obviously fake. That movie director, what was his name? He admitted it. But I do believe they were actually there. They were just doing other way secret shit because of, the moon is a really interesting object that may or may not be natural, right? And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I'm a
There's a lot of
conspiracy.
ENS names from that conversation you can go mince right now.
100%, 100%. We'll end it with 9396. The stage is yours. You'll be the last one, brother.
I just really quick. I wanted to ask about something because it's like I've been trying last night to help somebody who was trying to connect his emoji ENS domain to his wallet, and I guided him through all the steps. Like you have to have the controller and the register to the same wallet, and we did that, and then he moved into the how is the third one called? Can somebody remind me? The that's the resolver. Yeah, yeah. So there was no resolver, and he was trying to, to fix that. And at some point, he made transaction that didn't change the resolver to anything. So I started researching, and there is like ENS is working on a fix with emojis not being able to, like, you cannot connect them to wallets, at least some of them. I don't know if you guys have any experience, and if you connected those ENS emoji domains to wallets. Is it only some of them that are not connecting, or was the issue, and maybe somebody knows at what stage ENS is like with fixing this the glitch or whatever that is, really.
No, I take that as nobody here has any idea, in my opinion.
Okay, but it's not, for some emojis it's just not working. So it's like if you try connecting it to wallet, they are like not ready yet, and I don't know if they're fixing that or
They're
not.
working on the ENS side of things. I know there's someone was talking. There's a couple tickets open where they know that non-ASIC names aren't resolving correctly, and they may be working on that from our internal side of things. And then it may be the situation that wallets need to just make sure that they're doing everything right to be able to render non-ASIC characters. Like, for example, I mean, maybe they have like a Google font, and the Google font doesn't support a wide range of characters beyond ASIC. And just two things. One, internally, I believe that's something that's being looked into by core devs, and then externally, wallet providers and whoever need to do their due diligence as well. And just the last thing, if you're finding a bug, then do a screenshot video, tweet it or post it in the Discuss, or post it in the Discord, and just get that information to the core teams, not just out in this room.
Okay. I was trying to do that, and just
Yeah, you're doing
everybody.
great. You're doing great. I think, like, you're using the system and you're noticing these things and you're asking really, really good questions. Now the goal is to close the circle and get the right information to the right people.
Yeah, I will get that to the right people. I was just trying to help a guy who had a flag, and everybody in the room, like, some people thought that I'm fudding the flags because I claimed that they're not able to connect to the wallets, and that was not my intention. I was just thinking, like, if you resell some of those domains that are based on emojis to people who think that they can connect them to wallets, some of them are not ready yet. But I will just get in touch with the ENS guys. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This was another great episode. We probably spent a little too much time talking about flags, but guys, I was entertained, so that's why I stayed on the subject so long. But it is what it is. I promise you, we won't bring it up in tomorrow's episode. Um, do us a favor and follow all of the speakers on stage. Follow the people next to you. This is who we're building the community with. But most importantly, follow the host. Follow the host and the co-host, of course. But with that being said, y'all, thank you for tuning in. This was another phenomenal episode, and we are out.
I wanna be a billionaire so fucking bad. Buy all of the things I never had. I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. Oh, every time I close my eyes, I see my name in shining lights. Yeah, a different city every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. Yeah, I would have a show like Oprah. I would be the host of Everyday Christmas. Give Travis a wish list. I'd probably pull an Angelina and Brad Pitt and adopt a bunch of babies that ain't never had shit. Give away a few Mercedes like, here, let me have this. And last but not least, grant somebody their last wish. It's been a couple months that I've been single, so you can call me Travis Claus minus the ho-ho. Get it? I'll probably visit where Katrina hit. And damn sure do a lot more than FEMA did. Yeah, can't forget about me, stupid. Everywhere I go, I'ma have my own theme music. Every time I close my eyes, what you see, bro? I see my name in shining lights. Alright, and what else? A different city every night.